Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this presentation of the NBA 2K19 Sim of the Week here on the Crucial Baskets Network. Today it's the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Brooklyn Nets coming to you from the Barclays Center here in downtown Brooklyn, New York. Two teams in the middle of the pack going in different directions. We have Ryan Saunders, the interim head coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves, as they look to continue their upward trend after having some people at the beginning of the season. Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Nets are in the playoff hunt, looking for their first playoff appearance in Brooklyn in years. Timberwolves win the tip, and we are underway from Brooklyn. Glad you could join us here on the Crucial Baskets Network. I'm Raymond Sims. Both teams wearing special alternate uniforms as Wiggins pulls up from mid-range. Saric with the rebound. Towns gets it up, gets his own board, and not able to finish. So Minnesota goes over on their first offensive possession of the game. Brooklyn will end up suffering the same fate, turn the ball over, ahead to Teague. And now Minnesota has a chance to redeem themselves in the front court with 11:25 here in the opening quarter. Teague pull-up jumper won't go. Rebound Towns, and he's already racking up the boards as he scores the first points of the game for either side. Both teams with their uniforms paying special tribute to musicians who may have been local from their respective locales, but definitely had an impact on the world as Towns pulls down yet another rebound. Ball into the front court here. Saric, turnaround jumper, can't fall. Rebound Karutz. Rodions Karutz bursting onto the scene here in his rookie season. Was getting some run in the middle of the year at the starting small forward spot, but he's moved up to the 4 now, as the Kenny Atkinson rotation is always changing. Layup falls for Allen Crabbe, and now the Nets are on the board. The game's tied with 10.5 left here in the first. Kogi chasing down the errant Saric pass, taking on Crabbe. Strong defense here, works it to Wiggins in the corner, and almost finds his way inside. Allen called for the foul, his first. Ball tried to quickly inbound it to Wiggins, but the Nets telegraph it, and here they are on the run. Russell gets in the paint, taking on Teague, but he has to kick it back outside. They'll get the ball again, mid-range. Karutz with the screen, just enough of an opening, can't get it to fall. So a bit of a power outage on both ends here. Sarge jogging his way into the paint. Lead pass to Teague, off the glass and in. 4-2 here from Brooklyn. Brooklyn wearing their City Edition uniforms, mostly standard with the black and white, but the trim reminiscent of the Coogee sweaters that hip-hop legend Notorious B.I.G. used to wear. Crabbe with the ball on the wing, trying to get past Okogie, but Okogie's been one of the better defenders out of the rookie class of 2019. Now here is Okogie on the run, and he'll finish. No, he won't. He misses the layup. Allen was down his back, so you can't necessarily call it a bunny, but still, you got to make those transition layups. Crabbe stuck in the corner. Okogie's going to look for some redemption soon. Harris wide open. You don't want him shooting the 3. But he's able to knock that down for his first points of the game. Puts the Nets ahead 5-4. Towns up top. Goes into traffic. Underneath. Tried to get it to Teague, but deflected. And here come the Nets the other way. Russell trying to fight his way inside. Just got his first All-Star selection this year, and you see why. When there's a will, there's a way. He gets his first 2 points of the game. Nets shooting 3 of 6 from the field. Timberwolves having a bit more trouble. Sarge screen, can't get anything out of it but a switch onto a bigger defender. Tries to force it down to Saric, and he's able to. 7-6, 8 minutes left here in the first. And off to Karutz, ball up top to Crabbe. Flings it around to Russell off the Allen screen, able to pull up and get one to go. That's 4 in the early going for D'Angelo Russell. 9-6. Nets trying to get out on the run here. Kogi dives to the basket. He has to work his way back outside. Pull-up jumper for Teague. Rebound Towns. Kogi back up top. Another Towns screen. That's a good one. And he'll take it to the rack himself. And that'll be the second foul on Jarrett Allen. Going straight to him. Always a difficult proposition when you have Karl-Anthony Towns rolling to the basket. And in this case, Allen chose Teague. And Teague was fearless, going straight at him, but ultimately drawing the foul. Teague already in his 10th season out of Wake Forest. 12 points a game, 8.2 assists. Shooting percentages haven't been pretty. 42% from the field, 33% from 3. However, he is shooting 80% from the line. He has 3 as Allen will take a seat. He's in foul trouble. Ed Davis coming to the game. His first season after several years in Portland. 7:18 left here in the first. And Teague's able to get the shot to fall. 9-8. 2 successful shots at the line for Jeff Teague. Russell into the front court. Karutz wide open, and he's able to knock that down. First points of the game for the rookie Rodions Karutz from Latvia. Teague up top. Couple of nifty moves. Towns, he'll just shoot it over Davis, and Davis able to contest well and affect the shot. Rough going here early on. 1 of 4 from the field is Cat. But the Timberwolves get a steal. In transition, trying to push it, but the Nets keeping pace. Saric kicks it over to Towns. Teague was open, honestly, but Towns not the worst option to go to, even in traffic. Karutz tries to take it to the basket, and he's fouled by Saric. That's Saric's first. The Croatian fouling the Latvian. Look again here on replay. Saric just trying to thwart the layup. And ultimately got a little too handsy on the play. Nets come into the game after blowing out the Detroit Pistons on this very court on Monday, 103-75 over Detroit. Made slight work of them. Karutz in particular, 13 points on 6 of 8 shooting, along with 3 steals. So Karutz, a lanky young man, able to put that to work against the Detroit Pistons team that has otherwise been pretty hot of late, especially on the offensive end. And another one falls for Karutz. 14-8 in favor of the Nets. And Karutz leading the way with 5. Kogi toeing the line there. His next move, he's going to have to make that count. Doesn't want to step on the line. He'll get a screen from Saric. Able to move out the way. Kogi can't get the 3 to fall, and Boo's there, but Ed Davis, still one of the best rebounders in the league. Can definitely affect the game with his hustle. Turnaround jumper falls for Rodions Karutz. Hot right now, 7 points, just on 2 shots. By the way, he's been able to get to the line to score a couple of those. Teague up top, doesn't take the staggered screen. That would have been a great opportunity. See something more special as he'll drive inside, pull up mid-ranger, able to rattle home. Teague also hot right now. He's got 6. 16, 10, 5:24 remaining here in the opening frame. Crab. He's been fighting with a Kogi all quarter long. Tries to use the Davis screen. Now he's on the block. Time running out. Goes up, draws the foul, and it's on a Kogi. Crabbe gets up there, able to draw the foul. Good on him. Josh Okogie, the rookie out of Georgia Tech, could definitely develop into a dangerous two-way role player in this league. Very athletic, very lengthy, very disruptive. Got big substitutions coming in to the game here. Meanwhile, for Crabbe, he comes into this game. He was the leading scorer in that blowout over Detroit. 14 points, but also 10 rebounds, along with 4 assists. So he got a double-double, which can be a bit of a surprise for a player that many see more so as a shooter. Crabbe able to knock down both at the line, extends the lead to 8. As a fresh second unit comes into the game. All bench lineup here for Minnesota as Keita Bates-Diop is able to get his first points of the game on his own. Caris LeVert also into the game. Injured himself back in November against this very team, dislocating his right foot. But the injury was just specific enough that he was able to eventually recover, and he's made his way back. And Keita Bates-Diop showing that you can't leave him open in transition as he quickly picks up 5 points. 5 points and 2 boards already for the rookie out of Ohio State, and then Dinwiddie loses the ball. Carroll set to inbound here for Brooklyn. Davis up top, gets it to LeVert. Behind the back pass, very nifty. Dinwiddie goes baseline, kicks it back to Davis, works its way back outside with time running out on the clock. LeVert just enough space to let it fly. And Bates-Diop there for another rebound. Tyus Jones ahead with the ball. Bates-Diop open for 3, and he got it. Right off of the bench, 8 points for the rookie. And that's helped spur a 10-2 run. Like I said not too long ago, just because it's an all-bench lineup in the game for Minnesota does not mean that that is a bad thing or that the talent has dropped off. 18 all, 3:35 remaining here in the first. LeVert drives, kick out. Carroll still able to gather his footing and knock down the long 2. Jones into the front court. Gibson underneath. And not able to convert. The Nets into the front court. Still running in transition. Dinwiddie can't get the and one, but Tolliver picks up the foul.
Shooting for Brooklyn, Spencer Dinwiddie. 2 shots.
Spencer Dinwiddie going to the line, one of the premier bench players in the league, more than capable of starting.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
However, Kenny Atkinson just likes the type of energy that he brings off of the bench for his team. First shot falls. Dealt with a thumb injury in the middle of the year that prevented him from defending his skills challenge crown that he got at All-Star Weekend 2018. Couldn't defend it in Charlotte. Instead, he was on the broadcast team of the competition. But we'll see if he'll be skilled enough to get it back when the All-Star game is in Chicago next year. Able to make both free throws. Nets ahead by 4. Rose bringing it into the front court. Speaking of Chicago, Chicago native, drafted by the Bulls. Bates-Diop left open again. They really got to adjust to him. Pull up jumper, LeVert. No problem. Able to knock down the 3. 7-point lead. The Nets got out to a lead as big as 8. And then that's when Bates-Diop started a run of his own. Got the team to tie it back up at 18. But now the Nets seem to be running away on another run of their own. Jones under the basket picks up the rebound, but Carroll there to collect off the miss. 2.5 left here. LeVert, just enough space. Can't get it to fall. Bates-Diop in for the rebound. 2:22 left in the first. Gibson late with the screen. Bates Diop doesn't need it. Floats it home. He already has 10 points. Bates Diop still picking up where he left off in the Timberwolves win over the New York Knicks in a game that Karl-Anthony Towns nor Andrew Wiggins played in. 5-point game. Crabbe working his way inside, blocked by Gibson. Great block by Gibson. Still has some years to give in this league. Underneath Bates, Diop can't get it to go. Rebound Carroll. Out pops Carroll by himself, but by the time he turns around, Rose is right there with the recovery. Off the screen, now he meets Gibson. Underneath to LeVert, and challenged by Tolliver, who picks up the rebound. Timberwolves on the run. Keita, Bates, Diop cannot get the shot to go. Rebound by Davis. A little over a minute left here in the first now. Nets have held serve for much of this quarter, but the Timberwolves have not been far behind. Screen from Davis, driving inside. The layup is good. 5 points for Karis LeVert, as the Nets are shooting 53% from the field. Timberwolves have had a rough quarter outside of that quick run. Rose pulls up, falls short, but Gibson's there to clean it up. First points of the game for Taj. Carroll with the ball. Dinwiddie running the paces, finds himself top of the key, works it over to the right wing. In the corner, Crabbe trying to lose Bates Diop. And a block and a collection by Bates Diop. First it was a Kogi that Crabbe had to deal with, and now it's Keita. Rose, couple quick crossovers. Fighting his way inside. Almost loses the ball. In the restricted area, but blocked by Davis. Now Rose will take it outside. Corner three doesn't fall. Rebound by the Nets. Shot clock is off. Final seconds here. See if the Nets can throw something up. LeVert in the corner and can't get it. Misses side rim. So a competitive up-tempo quarter for you at home. Hope you enjoyed it. And the Nets are ahead 27-22. We'll see if Keita, Bates, Diop, and the Timberwolves can push ahead here on the Crucial Baskets Network. Welcome back to Brooklyn. A matchup between the Timberwolves and the Nets. The Nets wearing uniforms to honor the notorious B.I.G. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves are wearing uniforms to honor Prince, the 7-time Grammy Award winner, who's from the Twin Cities, as we open up with a miss by the Nets. These are the earned edition uniforms that honor Prince, due to the fact the Timberwolves made the playoffs last season. That seems less likely this year, as Bates Diop able to start off the quarter with more scoring. He has 12 points after scoring 10 and pulling down 5 boards in the first quarter. Carroll for 3 in the corner. Picked up just 2 in the first quarter, so he now has 5, and the Nets have 30. As said, these are the earned edition uniforms for the Timberwolves. They're white versions. These were not the first ones they debuted. Instead, that's their city versions, which are a deep purple with the same type of purple trim that they have here on these uniforms. Both very nice. And hopefully they wear these again, possibly next season. Carroll collects the ball, but he had it in his possession long enough that when he got into the backcourt, it was called for a violation. Few substitutions here for Minnesota. Towns and Wiggins and Gibson all returning to the game. Wiggins was held scoreless while Towns had 2. Just 2 points. And that's not something you want out of your young stars. Gibson turnaround jumper doesn't go. Rebound by Davis. In fact, that was a point of contention with original 2018-19 teammate Jimmy Butler, who took issue with the production level and ethics and effort of those two young stars. He was eventually traded to Philadelphia in November. But it's still been criticized. Wiggins there for the block, though. And that defensive possession leads to a shot clock violation by the Nets. Brooklyn actually a team that does struggle with turnovers a bit. 15.1 a game. After Monday, that's 25th in the league in terms of ball control. Teague on the wing, trying to get that post entry to Saric. Going to try to go to work here against Joe Harris. He had the size advantage, and Harris had no choice but to foul. First foul here of the quarter. Look here again. Looked like Saric was about to go to work, and Harris just swiping at it. And that is enough. It looks like I guess it was a shooting foul. Yes, Saric will go to the line. I was just saying, Jimmy Butler traded to the Philadelphia 76ers back in November, specifically on November 12th. It was Jimmy Butler, Justin Patton going to Philadelphia, Jared Bayless, Robert Covington, and then Saric making his first free throw coming the other way. Saric so far with Minnesota, pretty solid. 9.8 points, 5.5 rebounds per game. Usually in that power forward battery with Gibson. Sometimes Gibson starts, other times Saric does, as he's able to knock down both free throws. His first points of the quarter, and is now 30-26. Russell trying to take it straight to the house. Can't draw the foul against Teague, and Towns comes up with the board. Pass ahead to Saric, ahead to Wiggins, and he's able to lay in his first 2 points of the game. So Minnesota back within 2, as Towns and Wiggins probably going to try to pull this into overdrive. Up pops Dinwiddie straight to the rack, and Towns called for his first foul of the game.
Shooting for Brooklyn, Spencer Dinwiddie. At the line for 2.
As I said at Dinwiddie's first trip to the line, he has been a great player off of the bench. I'm saying that Crabbe leading the starters with 14 points and 10 rebounds. Dinwiddie led the Nets in scoring with 19 in only 25 minutes of play. He's not able to connect on the first free throw. Dinwiddie, the second leading scorer on the Nets, despite only 4 starts this season, 17.4 points, 5 assists. As he is a combo guard, tall enough to be a shooting guard, but savvy enough to be a point. He's able to knock down the second free throw. 3 points for Spencer. Here in the quarter, just 9:23 left. Towns declines the under the basket shot. Teague gets it to Saric on the elbow, facing up and back outside. Teague pulls up from the elbow, able to get it to fall. Big quarter there for Teague. He had 6 in the first. He now has 8. 31-30. Nets trying to keep the Timberwolves at bay. And the push shot by Karutz falls. First points of the second for him. Towns taking on Allen, one of the better rim protectors in the league, but Wiggins shooting the open 3, didn't get it to go. Towns ends up scoring away. Combined 6 points between Towns and Wiggins. Dinwiddie got a nice screen from Harris, but couldn't free himself up well enough, and now he's dealing with the Kogi. Another handoff, kicks it out. Joe Harris able to knock down the 3. Only his second made field goal of the game, but he already has 6, and you really don't want to leave the reigning 3-point champion open. reigning three-point contest champion, that is. Sarge essentially double-teamed, kicks it over to Towns, who's able to draw the foul, and that is already the third on Jared Allen. .749 remaining here in the second quarter, 4-point game. First shot goes, that's 5 for Towns. Much has been made about his effort and Andrew Wiggins' effort, and yet still, Towns is coming away as the leading scorer on this Timberwolves team, and he's averaging a double-double, 24.5 points, 12.3 rebounds per game, along with 3.3 assists and 1.7 blocks on top. So you wonder, like, if he's already doing as well as he is in terms of statistical production and his effort is questioned, if he can finally put it into another gear, it's kind of scary to see what he can end up being. Step back jumper for Russell is good. 6 points for Russell. Both teams, 13 made field goals, just a matter of how many it took to get there. And that's still shooting a solid 50% from the field. 4-point game. Wiggins almost had an open path to the basket, but Harris recovered quick enough that he really had to earn it. So still a 2-point game. Russell never afraid to face up ISO, but they're going to move the ball around, and Towns is called for his second. Sideline out of bounds. Russell gets it quickly, kicks it out to Dinwiddie, but Okogie's right there for him. Screen from Karutz. And Sarge is right there now off the switch. Can't create any space. Has to force it up top of the key, off the heel of the rim. Okogie into the front court. Here's Teague, pull-up jumper, won't go, rebound, Towns underneath. Able to finish the recovery, and after 2 points in the first, Towns now has 6. In the second, he has 8 overall. Oh, tried to get it underneath to cutting Karutz, and the Timberwolves pick up the steal. Now they're trying to push it ahead. Okogie under the basket. Too much traffic. Now here's Karutz, finally gets the ball for himself, but can't get the runner to fall. Game is tied at 38. Timberwolves with the chance to take the lead. Here's Towns. Facing up. Forces it. Won't go. Rebound Allen. Nets on the run again. Ahead to Dinwiddie. Underneath. Couple of fakes. Puts it up. Draws the foul.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for Dinwiddie. Keeps the Nets ahead. Prevents the Timberwolves takeover. And all 4 of his points have come from the line. You have to appreciate that aggressiveness, that fearlessness to get inside. It's paying off here in the early going. Second shot falls. Dinwiddie has 5 off the bench, leading the bench unit alongside Karis LeVert. Okogie by himself, but was a bit too outside for the catch and shoot opportunity. Turns around, stuck on the elbow. Here's Sarge. Working it over underneath. Towns, turn around. Facing up against Harris. Got to take advantage of that size mismatch, and he does. 8 in the quarter, 10 overall for Karl-Anthony Towns. Game tied again. Timberwolves looking to take the advantage as the Nets have led for much of this game. Allen underneath has to work it back outside. Now it's on Russell. And the star guard for the Nets not able to convert. Here come the Timberwolves. First lead of the game. Yes, sir. Josh Okogie finds time for his first points of the game. 42-40. Timberwolves were knocking at the door, finally able to convert. Here's Allen, hand off to Russell, essentially double teamed again. Kicks it out, Allen, he's gonna show a little range. The mid-range shot goes up. He was too open to pass that up. Doesn't fall, but you gotta appreciate the effort. Keeping the Timberwolves honest. Teague trying to fight inside, under 10 here on the shot clock. Sarge with the screen to save him, but Karutz is right there. Timberwolves stuck on the perimeter, time running out. This is going to be a pretty shot, folks. Sarge gets the contested mid-range, but it doesn't fall. Pass ahead, Karutz. Oh, he was ready to jam it, but he'll just take the contested layup just fine. 11 points for Rodions Karutz. Starting in place of Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Nothing wrong with him, just hasn't been playing well lately. Teague able to get the lead back for Minnesota. Here's Allen back to Dinwiddie. Way up top to Russell. Here's a screen. And just shooting out of a cannon off the first step. Russell mauled off the Sarge block. No call. Ahead to Wiggins, and he can't capitalize, but Towns is there, muscling for the extra shot, and it won't go. Pass ahead to Dinwiddie. And a player who's capable of scoring inside, you really don't want to see him going 4 of 10 from the field. Here's Karutz going inside against Big Cat, and that'll be Towns' third foul. So both starting centers in a bit of foul trouble. 3 fouls each for Jared Allen and Karl-Anthony Towns. Timberwolves have really been getting out on the run. Question has been hustle for this team, and they have shown it so far today. Karutz able to get the first shot. 12 for Rodions. Few big substitutions here late in the half. Second shot just as good, and the game's tied at 44. Karutz leading his team with 13 points. Towns underneath after Allen gambled. And that was a really costly gamble, and Allen thought he was going to steal that post entry, and he could not. Towns able to score. And so the Timberwolves still ahead 46-44 with 2:44 remaining in the second quarter. This is the 2K19 Sim of the Week on the Crucial Baskets Network. Welcome back to Brooklyn. Two teams with some nice uniforms, acknowledging some of the musical greats of our time. Let's take a look at the points off of turnovers for the Timberwolves last season. Finished 4th in that category, but a few things have changed with this team. A new coach without their lead player, Jimmy Butler, traded him off for a new beginning, trying to put Karl-Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins more in the forefront. Allen tried to get that pass. It was stolen. Ahead to Bates Diop, the leading scorer up until the last basket for Minnesota, and now he co-leads it with Karl-Anthony Towns. That's 12, as LeVert almost loses the ball there. 6 turnovers coming out of the timeout, 7 now of that last turnover coming out of the timeout. And speaking back on the points off turnovers, finished 4th last season, but the Timberwolves have 6 in this game so far off of those 6 that Brooklyn had committed. And there's number 8. 2:20 left here in the second quarter. Ahead to Tyus Jones, and that shot won't fall. Rebound Dinwiddie. Pushed ahead LeVert. Crabbe thought he had the opportunity, but Towns able to close him out. And there's Crabbe cutting to the basket. 6 for Crabbe. Game tied at 46. Which team's going to pull off the advantage as we head into the locker room? Be sure to stay tuned for the 2K Sports Halftime Report. I have highlights and statistics from the first half that was, and it's been a fun one. Back and forth here. And hopefully the second half will be more of the same. Pull-up jumper for Derrick Rose. First points of the game for D. Rose, and he has plenty more to give on the scoring end. Scored 50 on Halloween in overtime win over Utah. LeVert. Trap gets it to Dinwiddie. He'll kick it out. Here's LeVert. Driving inside. Time running out. Crabbe going to have to force it up and almost falls. Davis there for the second chance and able to get it off the glass and in. Davis has pulled down all the rebounds, but he's finally able to score in this game. Ball down low. Here's Towns taking on Ed Davis and able to knock down the hook shot. It's been a great quarter here for Karl-Anthony Towns. Only 2 points in the first quarter, but he has 12 now in the second. We'll see what we're getting ourselves into in the second half. We'll see if he can continue that momentum. It's hard to stop a 7-foot, 260-pound man who can score from anywhere if he finally gets things going. LeVert almost has some space. Going to have to shoot this one in the face of Taj Gibson, and it won't fall. Shot clock is off. Minnesota can rest up here for the final shot of the second quarter. And that is what they will do. Tyus Jones hanging out around the Barclays Center word mark. Nets have led by as many as 8 in this game, but the Timberwolves have fought back, and if Towns makes this, we have our largest lead of the game for Minnesota, 52-48 after one half. We'll see if the Timberwolves can go into the locker room and come out just as dominant here on the Crucial Baskets Network. Welcome back to Brooklyn for the 2K19 Sim of the Week. I'm Raymond Sims, here from the Barclays Center. Two teams wearing some special uniforms to honor some really great musicians as D'Angelo Russell will kick off the third quarter with some scoring. He now has 8 points after 6 in the first half. Nets wearing their Coogee lined uniforms in honor of rapper Notorious B.I.G. There's another foul, or over the back foul by Sarge, but a made basket there by Towns, who's picking up where he left off. Speaking of Minnesota, wearing their white and purple, show tribute to Prince, the virtuoso, multi-instrumentalist musician, 7 Grammys to his name. And these are just a second version of another equally nice looking uniform that is of a darker hue. Rodions Carut's also picking up where he left off. 13 points in the first half, now has 15 Teague inside, floats on, can't get that to go, but Towns with another rebound. Had 16 and 11 at halftime. Okogie diving to the paint and fouled by Harris. Second on the game for Harris. I've spoken about Josh Okogie a lot in this game, rookie out of Georgia Tech. From the Atlanta area, however, he got a nod for the Rising Stars Challenge and represented Team World due to his Nigerian lineage. .59 games, 37 starts on the season as the starting two guard for this team, especially after Butler was sent packing. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1.1 steals per game. Shooting is not the prettiest at all. 36.8 from the field, 27% from 3, but 73% from the line. So he's able to knock down both of those shots. That's 4 for Okogie, and it's 56-52. Crabbe up top. He's been dealing with Okogie for the whole game. I'm sure that's been fun for him. Crabbe off the switch. Kept patient and was able to work his way inside. The Nets down by 2, but still shooting much better from the field after the Timberwolves got off to a pretty cold start. What kept them in it, though, were the offensive boards and the second chance points. Even off of the misses, they were able to recover and clean up their mistakes. Wiggins has struggled for much of this game as Towns has actually picked up the pace here. He has 4 now in the third quarter and 20 on the evening. 2 minutes into the second half. Harris a long 2 if it goes, it doesn't, and another rebound for Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns, a New Jersey native, and this Nets team used to be in New Jersey, but they haven't been since 2012. Tried to get the lead pass to Okogie, turned over into the hands of Crabbe. Now Russell's by himself in the corner, and that is a 3. Wasn't completely sure at this angle, but it certainly falls, and the Nets are back within 1. Tip pass stolen by Russell. Well, in NBA 2K, I do believe the deflections count as steals, so that would be a steal for Allen. That's definitely a block for Towns. Crabbe around screen. Can't lose Okogie. Under 5 on the shot clock. Now he's double teamed, forces it up over Towns. He thought he had enough trouble with Okogie, and then he met a 7-footer and ends up missing. Ahead to Wiggins. Wiggins looking to get into the game. He's able to round up an assist as T gets his first points of the third quarter. Pass way ahead, way ahead, and out of bounds. Sarge will sit out. Anthony Tolliver will come into the game. Ball underneath. Towns gets his own board, and he's able to lay it up and in. We saw a sequence at the beginning of the game where Karl-Anthony Towns collected like 2 different offensive rebounds, but the Timberwolves were not able to convert. He has obviously learned from those mistakes, as he has not had any trouble bringing it back home off of a miss. Lead extends to 5. Long 2 for Karutz. That won't go. And Towns with another rebound. He's in store for a 20-rebound night. And that would not be out of the ordinary. Ball underneath to Towns. And he is unbelievably hot right now. 8 points with 8 minutes left in the third. 8 points here in the third quarter with 8 minutes remaining in the third. Crabbe bringing it home for the slam. 10 for Allen Crabbe. As the Nets are trying to stay afloat, but every time they miss, Towns is there for the rebound. Okogie missing, and the rebound by Allen. Handoff to Crab. Russell leaking out, but not open for long enough. So Crab gonna try to take it on his own here. Finally works it to Russell in the corner. Screen from Karutz. Tolliver meets him. Gets past him, and the finger roll. Very sexy. As the Timberwolves will call timeout. 3-point game. Timberwolves still in control. But the Nets are shooting 60% from the field here in this quarter. 64-61, 7:10 remaining in the third here on the Crucial Baskets Network. Welcome back to Brooklyn, and Karl-Anthony Towns having a time of his life here. 24 points, 16 rebounds. He's 4 boards away from a 20-rebound night, and that's just with 7 minutes remaining in the third. And that would not be too much out of the ordinary. Here's 17. As he's able to get that one home. 26 points, 17 boards. He actually had a 20-rebound night against these Nets on November 12th. 21 rebounds, 25 points off a 9 of 10 shooting as Jared Allen finally scores for the first time in this game. 66-63, 6.5 here in the third. Ball to Wiggins. Going to try to get the offense through him as he's finally able to score here in the second half. 6 to his name. So as we've seen, they haven't exactly needed his services, at least for the time being. But if he gets going along with Towns, that could spell trouble here for the Nets, especially if Russell doesn't kick into a new gear. Nice with that Rodions Karutz is, leading the way, but you can only have that going for so long before you need your all-star to step up. 2 consecutive baskets by Wiggins. He has 8. On rebound watch here for Karl-Anthony Towns. 3 away from 20. Russell up top. Doesn't use the Allen screen. Underneath. Can't pick up the assist. $28 for Towns. And a timeout by the Nets. The Timberwolves call a timeout when it was a 3-point game, but the Timberwolves have pulled away on a 6-0 run. 4 of those points coming from Wiggins. Looks like the stars are finally aligning for the Timberwolves. We'll find out if it's more of the same after this timeout here on the Crucial Baskets Network. Carroll set to inbound here out of the timeout. 5:25 left in the third. Ball underneath. Dinwiddie trying to force the issue against Tyus Jones, and it won't fall. Jones into the front court. Underneath, Rose. And the swipe. Carroll's called for the foul. Wiggins going to take a breather, and there's a chance there might not be much of a drop-off here. And in terms of production, Bates Diop coming into the game for the swing man out of Kansas. Bates Diop coming in, 12 points in the first half. He's going to need to come up with more here, as that'll rattle home. Levert in the corner. And Rose getting handsy there on the play. First foul of the game. Tried to swipe the ball away from Ed Davis. Davis will get it again. Take 2. 14 on the clock. And Jones. They're trying to be pesky. 9 seconds left here on the clock. 4:33 remaining in the third. Now it's Harris. Levert top of the key. Screen from Davis. Pulls up and able to knock it down contested. Didn't score in the second quarter, but he now has 7. 9-point game. Towns was the hot hand. Now the Nets are gonna see if they can close the gap while he's sitting down. Rebound by LeVert. Push ahead. Harris open in transition. Knocks the three down. He's knocked down 1 3 in each quarter, and he now has 9. Up top, Rose. Oh, he had a notion for the 3, but he's going to have to attack the basket now. Ball works its way back out to the opposite wing. Now it's base Diop trying to take advantage on the post. Turnaround, fade. Won't fall. Rebound, Carroll. 3.5 left here in the third quarter. LeVert stopped by Rose, but a good drive. Here's Dinwiddie, an opening, kicks it over. Carroll for 3, won't fall. Rebound, Davis goes back up over Gibson and in. 4-point game. Nets trying to fight back in this game. Under 3 minutes. Bates Diop off the Gibson screen. Met on the block underneath Gibson. Trying to find just the right space, and he's able to get the shot and draw the foul. That's the second on Carroll, and Gibson picking up his first points of the second half.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Taj Gibson, as I said, as he knocks down the and 1 free throw. He has plenty to give here in the NBA. He had 17 points and 9 rebounds in the first meeting against the Nets, and then in the second one, picked up a double-double, 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 steals. So when they play the Nets, he's not here to mess around. Just because he's a veteran doesn't mean he's washed up. He's shown that in general with the Timberwolves for several years now. Dinwiddie retreats to near the three-point line and puts up the mid-range jumper. So his first field goal of the game after scrounging up 5 points off of free throws. Rose trying to drive inside. Can't find the opening. Now there's Gibson patrolling the perimeter, and he loses the ball, and that's why Gibson routinely isn't a ball handler. LeVert turns around, forces up the shot. Davis, the rebound, the pause, and then puts it back up. And the Nets back within 3. We saw the Nets keeping the Timberwolves at arm's length for much of the game, and now the Timberwolves trying to do the same. Lead pass to Anthony Tolliver for the jam. Cross-court pass, that was for Davis, and it finds its way well out of bounds. Costly turnover, and Sarge will return to the game with 101 seconds left in the quarter. So Tolliver, the veteran out of Creighton, probably glad to get some points before he sits down. Handoff Rose, attacking. Step back jumper, still has that in his arsenal, but it doesn't fall. Just under a minute and a half now. Here's LeVert posting up against Rose, working his way into the corner. Now he's on the block. Can he put it up over Rose? Nope, kicks it back up top. Screen from Davis, and Harris now stuck. Will he have to figure something out over Gibson? And the putback slam by Ed Davis. 6 in the quarter for Ed Davis. He has 8 total, and of course, they're all going to come from the paint. Bates Diop up top. Instead, he'll get it down to Sarge, and a nifty assist as Sarge lays it up and in. First field goal since the first quarter for Dario Saric. Pass ahead, lead pass to Davis for the jam again. And now Ed Davis has the double-double. Usually you score the double digits first, and then you're waiting to get the right amount of rebounds. For someone like Ed Davis, it's the other way around. He'll get the boards. You just wonder if he'll get the points. Bates Diop tried to use his length to get that shot past Harris, and it won't go. 3-point game, and Saric deflects it, but it will remain in possession of the Nets. No subs here. Baseline out of bounds play. Out pops LeVert up top. Shot clock still on. So the Nets will have to score. But Nets still letting the clock run down. Rose tight on defense. Couple of fancy moves, but can't gain any ground. LeVert able to force it up and knock it down. 9 for LeVert. Shot clock off, and the cross-court shot won't fall. Attempted by Derrick Rose. And we still have a close one. Karl-Anthony Towns went off, started dominating, but the Nets have fought right back and found themselves right back in it with Towns on the bench. We'll see how the finish goes. Should be an exciting one here on the Crucial Baskets Network. Final quarter of play here from Brooklyn on the 2K19 Sim of the Week. I'm Raymond Sims presenting you with this game between two teams wearing uniforms honoring very talented musicians. The Nets repping Biggie Smalls, the Timberwolves scoring and repping Prince, the Prince. Here's Dinwiddie with the ball, 3-point game. As the Timberwolves have led for the entire second half. But the Nets have been right there. They've been able to regain much of their ground with Karl-Anthony Towns sitting on the bench. Pass ahead to Keita Bates Diop, and he's not able to score. Has 14 in the quarter. Has 14 in the game. Towns set to come back into the game, and that could spell trouble for the Nets. Especially with D'Angelo Russell currently seated. And offensive 3-second violation. Carroll hanging out in the paint for just a little too long. Jones on the wing. Here's Wiggins, post entry, going to work on the block. Towns slashing to the basket, and Allen able to alter the shot just enough. Towns coming in to the quarter with 28 points and 17 rebounds. Tipped away. Jones being pesky, but Dinwiddie able to retain possession. Carroll, not the quickest first step, so when he turned that corner there, he couldn't lose Saric. Now he's in trouble. Forces up the mid-range jumper, won't fall, but the putback falls for Ed Davis. That's 12 points and 16 rebounds for Ed Davis in this game. He has been fantastic off the bench, but what else is new? Wiggins open for 3 as he realized he was open. That doesn't go. And the rebound, another one by Ed Davis. 1-point game here for the Nets. Under 10 minutes remaining, trying to get back into this. They led for a good chunk of the first half, though they lost that lead later in the half. And the Timberwolves have had control for much of the second half, for the entirety of the second half, until that Caris LeVert layup. 11 points for Caris LeVert, and 2 of them coming at the right time as the Nets get the lead back for the first time in a long time. LeVert, great defense on Rose. Rose trying to take it to the house, and the circus shot falls. Just 4 points on the evening for D. Rose, the 2011 MVP. Carroll going to try to handle it on his own. Screen from Allen. Allen diving to the basket. No pass, however. Kicks it over. Allen blocked. Of course, he'll get his own rebound and slam it. (86-85). Nets trying to stay ahead even with Towns on the court. Saric left alone and slowly takes it to the rack. Carroll pulls up on him, knocks down the tray. So a 2-point lead now for the Nets, as the Nets are finally starting to take to the skies. As Towns dominates in the paint, will that be enough for the Nets to take this one home? We'll find out after the timeout here on the Crucial Baskets Network. Back in Brooklyn, 89-87, and the Nets have pulled out to take back the lead and have now retained it, at least over the first 4 minutes of this quarter. But Wiggins and Towns back in the game for Minnesota. This would be the time to take over. Turnaround fadeaway doesn't fall. Rebound by Crabbe. Crabbe has 10 on the evening. Doesn't take advantage of that transition opportunity. Russell will off the screen. And the Timberwolves come up with it. Under 8, Saric under the basket, able to score. And that's 4 for Saric, but I'm sure that the Nets would rather Dario Saric take over than Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns still sitting on 28 points and 17 rebounds. Russell, just enough space, gets past Saric. The floater won't go. Rebound, Allen. Allen's going to be the key here. LeVert can't get the second chance bucket to go. Going to keep the Timberwolves out of the paint. It's going to be on rim protector Jarrett Allen. He has blocked many a dunk. Just ask Blake Griffin twice and LeBron James even once. Saric slamming it down again. That's 6 in the quarter, 12 overall. Hard screen for Allen. Pulls up, does Russell, and he's able to score. So the game tied back at 91 after the brief lead change by Minnesota. Staggered screen. Teague splits him, pulls up from the elbow. Rebound, Allen pushed ahead. Timberwolves have numbers, but Karutz does not care. 17 for Rodions Karutz. Now it's Towns on the post, going to work. And lays it in. 30 points and 17 rebounds for Karl-Anthony Towns. Screen from Karutz. Russell loses the ball on the behind the back, stolen by Saric. Here come the Timberwolves. Ahead to Okogie, under the basket, able to score. Great assist from Saric. Back up to a 2-point lead here for the Timberwolves. Just under the halfway mark here in regulation. Up top, LeVert. Iverson cutting the dive for Russell. Now here he is behind LeVert. Finally gives it up. Open for 3. Swish. Saric facing up. What else to do but put up the shot, especially when Karutz didn't have the hand in his face, but it doesn't go. So Crabbe bringing it into the front court. LeVert trying to dive. Almost catches Wiggins off guard with the half spin. Now it's Russell going baseline. Kicks it back to Karutz, who could not collect the kick-out pass. That could have been damaging if Karutz was able to catch and shoot that ball. But alas, the Timberwolves trying to take the lead back, only down 1. Here's Teague trying to go baseline. Great switching, but Towns, can't get the advantage on the play. Ahead to LeVert. 4.5 left in the fourth. Nets hanging on to a tenuous 1-point lead. Allen, a couple of fakes. Towns wasn't buying it, and he'll pass it. Crabbe off the Karutz screen, open just enough, but won't get the shot to fall. Rebound number 18 for Towns. Into the front court. Hands it off Saric against Karutz. Pass underneath, telegraphed by Allen. Ahead to Crabbe. Tries to get it in the corner, deflected by Saric. Nets will keep the ball with 15 on the shot clock. Here's Russell, puts up the three and can't get it. Rebound by Wiggins. Towns has 20 rebounds. Don't know where he got a couple of those extra ones from, but he does now have 30 points and 20 rebounds. So a 30-20 game, and he's going to need to go to the well at least a few more times as he's able to knock down the turnaround fadeaway. Now it's 32 points. 32 points, 20 rebounds. A big night here for Karl-Anthony Towns. And the Timberwolves going to try to make sure it's not for naught. Russell step back. Rattles everywhere but through the basket. And the Nets in a bit of a scoring drought over the last 2 minutes. Teague pushing his way inside. Pulls up over Russell. Rebound Allen. The pass ahead, but the Timberwolves back in business quickly. Strong transition in D there. And now the Nets working out of the half court again. Here's Crabbe. Up top, Russell spin move. Hands it off. Crabbe for three in the corner. And the rebound by Teague. 2:40 left here in the fourth. Teague to the bucket. Oh, he misses the layup. Rebound by Russell. The Nets ahead. Karut's under the basket. No foul called. Rebound Wiggins. Little hesitation. Step back. Wiggins. That won't fall either. And we are at a 97-96 stalemate. We'll see who breaks it. Just over 2 minutes left here in the quarter. Way out in the backcourt is Russell. Taking on Saric. Loses him temporarily. Blocked by Towns. He skied in there after Saric lost him. Karut misses the elbow jumper at the buzzer. Under 2 minutes. Clutch time for both sides. Who's going to pull this one off? Towns with 34. 105 seconds and counting. Harris waiting to get back into the game. Russell trying to take it underneath to Karut, who draws the foul and gets the shot. So LeVert held down the fort for long enough. Kenny Atkinson will bring in one of the best three-point shooters in the league. We'll see if he can hold his own on defense as well. Meanwhile, Rodions Karut, who led the Nets in scoring for much of this game, they're going to need a couple more buckets from him as that'll rattle in. 5 here in the fourth quarter. 22 on the night for Karut. Game tied at 99 in the hands of Towns. He's been dominant all evening. Loses Allen and finishes at the bucket. 36 points for Karl-Anthony Towns to go with 20-plus rebounds. He has been a force in his hometown tonight. Russell up top, can't lose Teague. Here's Allen. Didn't know what to do with the ball, and Towns bails him out with a foul. That would be a quite comical proposition. Towns slashing on the boards and in the paint, just scoring, just dominant all evening, and then ends up fouling out. That would be quite the situation. But here's Jarrett Allen at the line, just 4 points to his name today. He's mostly done damage on the boards, and he's been pretty strong protecting the paint, all things considered. Protecting the paint against non-Karl-Anthony Towns players, you could say. Second shot falls. He has 5. Derrick Rose coming into the game to close things out at the point. Jeff Teague held his own and finds Towns. 3-point game as the hits keep coming. 38 points for Karl-Anthony Towns. Under a minute. Getting late early here in Brooklyn. 3-point game still. This is a team with some shooters, but they're gonna have to find them and put them in the best positions. Some wild cross-court passes as the Nets find openings. Pull up from the top of the key, rattles home for D'Angelo Russell. Rose ahead to Towns. Allen loses track of him. Able to recover in time. Ball lost. Recovered by Saric. Underneath. Kicks it to Wiggins in the corner. Under 10 on the shot clock. Wiggins missing. Rebound Allen. And the Nets are able to call a timeout. And it looks like this is going to come down to the wire. 21 2/10 of a second remaining. The Nets down one. Looks like it's going to come down to the final possession here on the Crucial Baskets Network. Welcome back to Brooklyn. 21 2/10 of a second remaining here. The shot clock is off, so this is all Nets. We'll see if they'll hold for the best shot. Oh, it's Crabbe open as they gamble to defend D'Angelo Russell. Seems like a good idea on paper, but leaving a sharpshooter like Allen Crabbe open to double on D'Angelo Russell in mid-range, you get problems like this. And now the Nets are ahead 105-103 with 11.4 on the clock. And the Timberwolves still have a chance to score. They can tie this and we can head to overtime. Or they can gamble and go for the three. Let's find out. Sarge set to inbound. Here's Rose. Shot clock is off. Will they go for the two or the three? The screen from Towns. Allen meets him. The kick out to Towns. He's going to have to put this one up, and he ties it. Foot was on the line, and it's 105 all, and the Nets will call their final timeout of the game. Towns with 12 points in the fourth quarter, 40 overall, and nothing more opportune than that. 105 all. Allen in the corner of all people, and he got it! Are you kidding me? The center, Jarrett Allen, just knocked down the three to send the Timberwolves home packing. A crazy shot and an insane ending. Who'd have thunk that that's who the play was drawn up for? And the Timberwolves can't believe it either. A 40-point, 20-plus rebound performance for Knott from Karl-Anthony Towns and the Timberwolves. What an ending here on the 2K19 Sim of the Week. Only 2K, folks. But that will do it from the Barclays Center. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the Crucial Baskets YouTube channel for more simulation basketball action. I promise you it will be just as good as that. But until next time, I'm Raymond Sims. Thank you so much for watching. You be safe out there. The final score from Brooklyn on a buzzer beater by Jarrett Allen. Brooklyn 108, Minnesota 105.